Come, let us savor tantric chanting and effortless meditation. Let us begin with top-of-the-head oriented energy work. No, Virginia, we neither believe nor visualize, but content ourselves to simply recite or chant 6 syllables. Lama come to pay crown. Pay is just a word that rapidly coalesces, causes our subtle energies, real or imagined, to coalesce at the crown of our head. Let's go. Lama come to pay crown. Lama come to pay crown. Lama come to pay crown. Oh, you know what? Something's going on with this. I'm having some troubles. Okay, be right back. Sorry, guys. Okay. Okay. We now proceed to this morning's first set of mindfulness and meditation, the 7th and 8th folds of the Buddha's Eightfold Path. If we were to make the mistake of actively focusing and actively analyzing, that would do far more harm than good, exhausting the front of our brain, triggering our amygdala, and making us more anxious and aggressive. And nobody wants that. So instead, what we're going to do is practice mindfulness and meditation in cooperation with our autonomic nervous system. How do we do that? Easy. Each time we feel air enter our nostrils, silently and mentally we're going to recite the one-syllable verb watch. Every time we feel air exit our nostrils, we're going to silently and mentally recite the one-syllable verb rest. Not only does doing so calm our amygdala, but it gently stimulates our anterior cingulate gyrus, which functions as the hub of our mirror neurons, the seat of empathy. Perhaps that is why the late Tulku Thondup insisted that the highest love is the spontaneous and uncontrived byproduct of mindfulness and meditation. Together, let us sit and breathe and watch and rest. Additionally, you might find it helpful to rest the great knuckle at the base of your right index finger upon the tip of your left index finger, palms up in your lap. We notice vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly. Everything is in flux all the time. And as such, we cannot help but noticing sights, sounds, sensations, flavors, scents, and the like, including the full spectrum of human emotions, intentions, thoughts, memories, and imaginings, Consequently, we spontaneously and vulnerably experience everything, from the external to the internal, from the physical to the mental, from the pleasurable to the painful, from the interesting to the boring, from the glorious to the grotesque. Now, this can sometimes feel uncomfortable, but discomfort is never an indictment. This brings us to the first fold of the Buddha's Eightfold Path, the wisdom of letting go. We begin by chanting an introduction, dispelling some of the preconceptions foisted upon us by institutional Buddhism, as opposed to proto-Buddhism. Or in other words, the minions of Yang. If you wish to chant along with me, you are welcome to join us on the Tube app. If you are already on the Tube app, well done. Rather than indulge or controlling tendencies with all follies of active visualization, emotion, magic, and belief, we could just recite these wise words in harmony with our breathing and allow our subconscious to do the heavy lifting. Let us therefore sidestep the rigidity that confuses metaphors for statements literal, and instead relax into the flexibility that savors the chance explaining metaphors as similes. Let us begin by bringing the circumstantial into the path of wisdom of letting go. All circumstances, all odds appearing yet void, could be as impermanent and interdependent as if they could blissfully melt into rainbow light that could delightfully absorb into this body or form. We reduce that to a 6-syllable synopsis: all lots melt into form. The delicious irony of rainbow yoga is that it harnesses the power of our own self-centeredness to transcend self-centeredness itself. All bodies or forms sensual yet void could be. I guess I should have given you an explanation. We're now going to bring the physical into the path of the wisdom of letting go. All bodies or forms sensual yet void could be as impermanent and interdependent as if they could blissfully melt into rainbow light that could delightfully absorb into this communication or speech. The 6-syllable synopsis is as follows: all forms melt into speech. You're not in this by yourselves. This is not a canned presentation. The moment you have a specific question about Buddhist meditation or philosophy, do not hesitate to type your question in great detail in the chat window. Let us now bring the interpersonal into the path of the wisdom of letting go. All interpersonal communication or speech resounding yet void could be as impermanent and interdependent, as if it could blissfully melt into rainbow light that could delightfully absorb into this speech. The six-syllable synopsis of that which we just chanted is as follows. All speech melts into mind. Once again, this is a metaphoric depiction. No need to visualize or believe. Finally, we bring our experience of the mental into the path of the wisdom of letting go. All lucid perceiving, emoting, intending, thinking, recalling, and imagining minds. Lucid yet void could be as impermanent and interdependent, as if they could blissfully melt into rainbow light that could delightfully absorb into our vast empty void. Like the illusion of the infinite azure sky on a bright and beautiful cloudless morn, which, although tantalizing to the eye, could be not graspable to the hand. What is the six-syllable synopsis of that which we just chanted? All minds melt into void. If you, like me, are prone to arthritis or EDS, I invite you to gently adjust your legs every 15 minutes or so. This brings us to this early morning's second set of mindfulness and meditation, the seventh and eighth folds of the Buddha's Eightfold Path. Once again, as we feel air enter our nostrils, silently and mentally, we can recite the verb watch. Similarly, as we feel air exit our nostrils, we can silently and mentally recite the verb rest. It's just that simple. There's nothing to force. We're already wired to watch and rest. So we always have a choice. Do we persist in the destructive habit of actively competing against our own autonomic nervous system, or do we passively cooperate with it through the cunning use of sitting and breathing and watching and resting? As such, we simply use the breath as a metronome, neither forcing its duration nor its depth. We're simply using it the way a drummer keeps beat for a rock band. We come now to chest-oriented energy work. There is no need for faith or visualization. Rather, let us content ourselves with simply chanting the 6 syllables Lama blend with this mind. 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 This brings us to the third set of mindfulness and meditation, the 7th and 8th folds of the Buddha's Eightfold Path. This time, when we feel our lungs swell with breath, silently and mentally recite the verb watch. And when we feel our chest sink in exhalation, we will silently and mentally recite the verb rest. Well, that's an error, isn't it? Okay. Additionally, it could be helpful if we rested the great knuckle at the base of our right middle finger upon the tip of our left middle finger, palms up in our lap. We now prepare for this early morning's mantra meditations. Let us chant an explanation of this 10-syllable mantra. O Mama Chatara, the swift and courageous, with Tutara you drive away all fears. Heroine with Ture, fulfilling all lives with Soha, may all be as beneficial as you. Let us practice the second fold of the Buddha's eightfold path and bring the mental into the path of loving kindness together. May all minds of all beings now be as joyfully enlightened as the mind of a real or imagined Buddha, symbolized by a bija, one syllable seed mantra, tamortically drop. The 6-syllable synopsis of our loving wish is simply bija wise for all minds. As we inhale, we can silently and mentally recite the metaphoric loving wish, bija wise for all minds. As we exhale, we can physically relax as best we can, while striving to chant the 10-syllable mantra 4 times per breath for a total of 4 breaths. Om Tare Du Tare Du Re Suwa, Om Tare Du Tare Du Re Suwa, Om Tare Du Tare Du Re Suwa, Om Tare Du Tare Du Re Suwa. Om Tare Du Tare Du Re Suwa, Om Tare Du Tare Du Re Suwa, Om Tare Du Tare Du Re Suwa, Om Tare Du Tare Du Re Suwa. Om Tare Du Tare Du Re Suwa, Om Tare Du Tare Du Re Suwa, Om Tare Du Tare Du Re Suwa, Om Tare Du Tare Du Re Suwa. Om Tare Du Tare Du Re Suwa, Om Tare Du Tare Du Re Suwa, Om Tare Du Tare Du Re Suwa, Om Tare Du Tare Du Re Suwa. Let us now bring the interpersonal into the path of love, the third fold of the Buddha's eightfold path. May all relationships, communication, or speech of all beings now be as peacefully loving as a real or imagined Buddha speech or communication, symbolized by this horizontal 10-syllable mantra. The 6-syllable synopsis of our loving wish is as follows. Mantra love for all speech. This is not something to believe. It is we're simply using words to gently guide our intention, to exercise the neural pathways supporting empathy. As we inhale, we could silently and mentally recite the metaphoric or the figurative loving wish mantra love for all speech. As we exhale, we could physically relax as best we can while simultaneously chanting the 10-syllable mantra 4 times per breath for a total of 4 breaths. Now, if this is your first rodeo, give yourself permission to have a learning curve. Om Dhare 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 Suwa, Om Dhare 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 Suwa, Om Dhare 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 Suwa, Om Dhare 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 Suwa. Om Dhare 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 Suwa, Om Dhare 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 Suwa, Om Dhare 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 Suwa, Om Dhare 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 Suwa. Om Dhare 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 Suwa, Om Dhare 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 Suwa, Om Dhare 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 Suwa, Om Dhare 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 Suwa. Om Dhare 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 Suwa, Om Dhare 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 Suwa, Om Dhare 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 Suwa, Om Dhare 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 Suwa. Now let us bring the physical into the path of love, the fourth fold of the Buddha's eightfold path. May all bodies or forms of all beings now enjoy the beautiful health depicted in Buddha's statuary of the blissful body of a Devi or Yadam and archetype of enlightenment such as Green Tata. The 6-syllable synopsis is as follows. Yadam health for all forms. As we breathe in, we could silently and mentally recite the loving wish, Yadam health for all forms. As we exhale, we can physically relax as best we can while chanting the 10-syllable mantra 4 times per breath for a total of 4 breaths. Om Dhare 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 Suwa, Om Dhare 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 Suwa, Om Dhare 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 Suwa, Om Dhare 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 Suwa. Om Dhare 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 Suwa, Om Dhare 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 Suwa, Om Dhare 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 Suwa, Om Dhare 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 Suwa. Om Dhare 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 Suwa, Om Dhare 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 Suwa, Om Dhare 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 Suwa, Om Dhare 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 Suwa. Om Dhare 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 Suwa, 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 Om Dhare 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 Om Tare Du Dare Du Re Sowa. 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 And last, we bring the circumstantial into the path of love, the fifth fold of the Buddha's Eightfold Path. All circumstances or lots of all beings know how. I skipped a word. May all circumstances or lots of all beings know have the safety, good fortune, or boon. As a Buddha's real or imagined paradise, Perlando Vanti. The six-syllable synopsis of that loving wish is Vanti boon for all lots. As we inhale, let us silently and mentally recite the loving wish, Vati boon for all lots. As we exhale, let us physically relax as best we can while simultaneously chanting the 10-syllable mantra 4 times per breath for a total of 4 breaths. Om Dane Du Dane Du Re Suwa, Om Dane Du Dane Du Re Suwa, Om Dane Du Dane Du Re Suwa, Om Dane Du Dane Du Re Suwa. Om Dane Du Dane Du Re Suwa, Om Dane Du Dane Du Re Suwa, Om Dane Du Dane Du Re Suwa, Om Dane Du Dane Du Re Suwa. Om Dane Du Dane Du Re Suwa, Om Dane Du Dane Du Re Suwa, Om Dane Du Dane Du Re Suwa, Om Dane Du Dane Du Re Suwa. Om Dane Du Dane Du Re Suwa, Om Dane Du Dane Du Re Suwa, Om Dane Du Dane Du Re Suwa, Om Dane Du Dane Du Re Suwa. We come to the final set of mindfulness and meditation, the 7th and 8th folds of the Buddha's Eightfold Path. Now you might say, what about the 6th fold? Have we skipped it? What's the deal? Are we getting ripped off? Here's the deal. The more we practice mindfulness and meditation, the more our choices and our utterances and our deeds begin to flow, not from calculated contrivance, not from wild scatteredness, but from the centered spontaneity. This is the effortless effort of the 6th fold of the Buddha's Eightfold Path. As we inhale, let us watch the antics of mind. As we exhale, let us relax into mind's empty nature. In our compassion may we long to free all beings from the toxic tyranny of ever. Hating, craving, and clinging, metaphorically known as the three mental poisons. In our pragmatism, may our liberation of all others be fueled by following the Buddha's example, applying his instructions, and cooperating with his students. Metaphorically known as the three wish-fulfilling jewels. Having sat for the better part of an hour, we could find it refreshing to conversationally recite the 8-syllable synopsis of that which we just chanted. May we free all through thee, three jewels, while performing a set of physical exercises that I have nicknamed spooky squat thrusts. Oh boy, here we go. That's weird. Okay. Here we go. Whew. Heels, shoulder width. Half squat. Calf, heel squat. May we. Full heel squat. Free all. Weight in the balls of our feet. Through. The. Three jewels. Oops, it was foul. May we free all through the advance. Three jewels. Final repetition. May we free all through the three jewels. Do we sit our tush on the ground? Touch our heels together. Left hand, right shin, right hand, left shin, and now we row. Let us conclude this morning's practice by chanting the wishes for the preservation of the Buddha's teachings. May each meditation teacher truly understand the Buddha's teachings and practice master as well as teach them generously, lovingly, and wisely in the manner of centered spontaneity. May each meditation teacher spontaneously receive generous patrons, enthusiastic students, as well as devoted apprentices. And thus may many Dharma centers be successfully planted, nurtured, and flourish. You have taken your first step into a much larger world. If you feel that I have earned it, you could give this live stream a thumbs up. You could even help support this channel. In approximately 7 hours, I would very much like to return to lead today's afternoon tantric chanting as well as effortless meditation. And if you are as geeky, oopsie, is that the wrong button? I think it is. It is the wrong button. Well, that's just lame. Huh. Anyway. And if you are as geeky as me, may the Force be with you always.